Rumble of the Forest is a platformer and rhythmic game in which the player will have to keep up with one of 6 different songs. The game is divided into 3 different levels, each divided up into 2 parts: the platformer rhythmic game and the Guitar Hero-like boss battles. In order to keep fighting the squirrel alive, the player will have to keep up with the song's beat by pressing the spacebar when the 2 little white lines reach the heart that is in the middle of the screen. The adventure begins in a very dark, cold and not very lively forest. After learning the basic movement and attack mechanics, the player will have to help Chubby the Squirrel defeat all of the Notch's minions in order to reach the end of the level and engage in its first boss battle against Tlaquatzin. Getting to the first boss fight, the Guitar Hero-like game will start. The first boss, Tlaquatzin, is not a very tough opponent, as he secretly loves music, but his boss the Notch made him destroy his favorite instrument, the snare drum, and now he's very evil.
Chubby the squirrel will find herself in a slightly happier forest even though Chubby's intentions are well placed. Her efforts have also brought negative consequences for her. Life is coming back to the forest, but until she defeats the Notch, these newfound creatures will try to stop her and by any means necessary. This time around the level will present a lot of different challenges for the player, as he or she will have to defeat more enemies and manage to traverse much tougher terrain. When the player does reach the end of this level, Mitsley the cat will try to stop Chubby. Mitsley, the misfortune lover of the Notch, she will do everything and anything in order to please the Notch, as she is blindly in love with him. But this is a one-way street, as the Notch doesn't really care for her. He sent her on a mission to defeat Chubby, but he is almost certain that his lover will be defeated.
Wow, life is really coming back to the beautiful forest. The storm is calming down and even the birds are coming back. Such a happy forest. The end of the Notch rules is very near, but yes, so far. Freddy the Squirrel and the player must manage to go through the toughest level of the game, as the Notch has prepared for this epic moment. After defeating a lot of the Notch minions and managing to clear very tricky jumps, Chubby the Squirrel will find herself fighting the final battle against the big tyrant. Ever since the Notch was a small eagle, he despised music, especially the percussion instruments, so he swore of his life to destroy every single instrument on Earth, or at least within the forest in which he lives.
In the first page you have the game. Also you have a button to enter the game whenever you are in another page, like about. In here you can see what's about the game and the characters, also a little story of each one, also the enemies and some info about us. Then it's the instructions page when it's I think really easy to play. You use explains also how to use them and the movement. And if you're like in this page and then click play game, the game load, the scores page where you can preview the scores that were in the game and the top scores. Also with a small chart that it's going to be filled up when you play the game.